Hey guys, how's it going? Brandon here, and welcome back you guys to another Pokemon team builder. Today we're continuing on our mono water team builders, this time going through generation 2 or 4 with Heart Gold and Soul Silver mono water. Now of course, before any team builder, must say quick disclaimer just to say this is opinion based. This is a mono water team, so logically there's only going to be water type Pokemon in this team, but depending on what water types that I use, if you guys want to play through Heart Gold, Soul Silver with only water types, there is obviously different ones that you can choose. It's the most common type, or second most common type. Normal and water I know are the two most common types in the game. I think water is the most common type, so there are of course loads and various different water types that you can use. I'm just choosing a few that I like and work throughout the game. But of course you are free to mix it up and do what you wish. But definitely make sure to let me know what you change in the comment section below. But with that being said, you guys, let's get on with this. First up then, you guys, of course, we have our starter for this game, which is indeed Feraligatr. In my opinion, the best starter coming out of this generation for in-game purposes. Second being Typhlosion and third being Meganium. Nothing against Meganium, but, you know, Feraligatr is the one that, if you want to play through the game with just one Pokemon, Feraligatr does it. I've done that myself. I did the whole game with only a Feraligatr, and it puts in the absolute work. Waterfall, Crunch, Ice Fang, Return, the movesets. Waterfall, of course, being nice and stab. Crunch just for a bit of coverage. Ice Fang to hit those grass types, and Return just a hard hitting 102 base move once Happiness is at full. Adamant Nature for this. Overall stats for Alligator are absolutely solid. 85 HP is absolutely fantastic. Base 105 attack, Adamant Nature just boosts that even higher. Base 100 defense, this thing actually can take a hit really well, a physical hit really well. 79 base special attack, so if you do want to run Surf and maybe a few special moves, it's not going to be the end of the world, but I do highly recommend a physical one. Is going to do a lot better for you. 83 special defense is solid as well. Like I said, this thing can take a hit really well. And 78 speed, it's around that speed tier where in game it should be outspeeding most things, unless it's like a same level sort of like Ninjask or sort of things that are going to be like above 105 base speed. But the amount of times you actually run into something that is going to outspeed you and you're not just going to one-shot back maybe because of level and stuff, or two-shot, it's going to be quite rare. Like I said, in-game, of course you get Tohjo, Start Evolves into Croconaut at 18 and then Feraligatr at 30, so a nice solid mon at level 30. Final stage evolution is always solid in any team. Absolute favourite starter coming out of Generation 2 for me. It's absolutely solid, and of course it's going to be on this team for Mono Water. It is our starter, it's Feraligatr. Moving on to Pokemon number 2, you guys, and we have Quagsire. Now, normally with this thing, well, most of the teams, I'd like to say most of the teams, I've added one mon in there that's kind of like a derpy sort of thing in terms of like using it. Like, you wouldn't normally see it. I don't know, a few of you might like Quagsire. I love Quagsire. I think it looks such a derpy looking Pokemon, and it's hilarious, in my opinion. We've gone for it because the ground type on this thing really helps. Of course, if you're doing mono water, one of your biggest weaknesses is going to be electric, and having that electric immunity with Quagsire is always going to help. Of course, just watch out for this grass type weakness because it is now 4 times resisted, 4 times against grass. That's what I'm trying to say. It's 4 times weak to grass. That's what I'm looking for. In terms of the set for this thing, normally with a Quagsire you'd run like a Stoolie set. You look at your Toxic, your Protect, your Recover, your Scold maybe in later generations. But for this thing in Generation 4, I've actually gone with an offensive set covering Rain Dance as well. Recover is actually an egg move, which is why I haven't gone for a Stoolie set, because I actually haven't got any reliable Recover other than Rest, and I'm sure you guys don't want to be running a Rest set. If you do, by all means run a bulky Rest set on Quagsire. Normally this thing is considered bulky because of its ability Unaware. Again, it ignores stat boost and stuff like that. Waterfall, Rain Dance, Rock Slide, Earthquake, Adamant, so I've gone for a physical one because its physical attack is better than its special attack. Waterfall, again, hard hitting, physical stab move. Rain Dance, if you set up the rain and have some Swift Swim users possibly on the team because you're using water types, also boosting up those water type moves and weakening fire type moves as well, but it also means things like Waterfall are going to hit even harder. Rock Slide just for a bit of coverage. We don't have a rock type on the team in this generation, so rock coverage is always nice. And Stab Earthquake because it's Earthquake, and in game you do just want to kind of click Earthquake on things if it's Stab. In terms of its stats, it starts really well at the top and then declines a little bit. HP is absolutely solid at 95. That's what its main thing is in its bulk, is its HP. 85 base attack isn't terrible. Like, it's not Adamant Nature as well to boost it up. Defense 85 is solid. Special attack 65. Don't run special Quagsire in my opinion, unless you're competitive and you're running Skull just to get those burns. Special defense is kind of met in 65. It's more of a physical wall instead of a special one. But again, don't go near any grass type moves. And base 35 speed, you're not going to be outspeeding things with this thing. Sort of like bring it in, click Rain Dance to get the rain up. Maybe if you want to give it a Damp Rock, if you're looking at sort of like competitive sort of things, maybe on in-game. If not, then sort of just Mystic Water or something will really do. Or Leftovers. Leftovers will do just fine if you're looking for an item to put on this thing in-game. But yeah, it's kind of the mon on the team that's very derpy. If you don't want to use this, I completely understand. I love using Quagsire in game because it is just that derpy team member. You think, what the fuck it's doing here? But it's great. I love him. He's our second team member. It is Quagsire. On to Pokemon number 3, you guys, and we have the powerhouse that is Gyarados. Not the last time you will see this guy in the team builders for these mono water types as well, because he is arguably one of the strongest water types in the game. But I will say this, I do not understand any living person that uses a Gyarados before Generation 4 because of the physical special split. It has no stab flying type moves before Generation 4, which I think is when it learns Bounce, which we still don't have on it because Bounce is a pain in the arse. I think it's an egg move as well. And Water is special before Generation 4, which means your stab attacks are going off 60 base special attack. So anyone that tells me in my Emerald or my Leaf Green team builders to use Gyarados, you are talking absolute out your arse, because it is rubbish before the physical special split. Because the physical special split, you're now able to use Waterfall as a physical move at base 125 physical attack. This thing, Generation 4 onwards, is amazing, and I will use it in most teams if I'm able to because of how good it is. It also gets access to Dragon Dance. That isn't like an egg or a tutor move, it legit can just learn Dragon Dance if I level it up. Waterfall, Ice Fang, Dragon Dance, Earthquake. Earthquake covers your electric types. Ice Fang, just because it's hard hitting, can deal with Dragon types. Dragon Dance, you set up to +1 with this thing and it's pretty much GG. Adamant Nature, like I said, around the 80 base speed is going to be around that speed that you're going to be outspeeding most things in game. Plus, you don't need to be Jolly Nature because you've got Dragon Dance. You get to +1 speed, you're at like base 120, I don't want to do the math, or whatever it is, base 122 around base speed, which means you're going to outspeed everything. Waterfall will just run through things. Gyarados is going to be your main sweeper for this team. Of course, you get a Magikarp, it evolves to level 20, you've then just got these powerful ass Gyarados. I love this thing, I've used it in draft, I've used it competitively in-game, it just covers all bases and is good in all of them. If you can and you want to try and do like really look into it, most of them will have Intimidate. If you want to do some breeding stuff and try and get, I don't know, oh wait no, Moxie's not a thing until Generation 5, ignore me. But of course, if Moxie was a thing, I'd definitely be telling you to get a Moxie one, but it's not a thing until Generation 5, so ignore me on that. So Intimidate is also helpful as well, because its base special defense is 100, and then its base normal defense is 79, but because of that Intimidate, they're now at -1 physical attack, which means your defense theoretically is around the base 100 as well. So this thing can actually take a hit and hit really hard as well. It's just really good. If you haven't used a Gyarados in like Gen 4 onwards, you're missing out, because it's one of the best Pokemon in the game, period. It's fantastic. It's our third team member. It is Gyarados. On to Pokemon number 4, you guys, and we go from one physical sweeper to our special sweeper of the team, and it's Slowbro. Other than Gyarados, this thing is probably my favourite in-game water type to use, period. Simply because of the combination of being able to set up with Calm Mind, being able to recover all your HP with Slack Off, and having Stab, Surf, and Psychic with the Modest Nature. This thing just absolutely goes in, and it's unbeatable in-game at certain points. For all of you that have followed the channel for a while, our Pokemon Blue Nuzlocke, actually our Slowbro, come in absolute clutch in the Elite Four. And against Lance, and managed to pull through and absolutely obliterate his team and win it for us. But yeah, with this thing, stats of base 110 defense, plus Calm Mind boosting your special defense, plus recovery, people just can't kill this thing. You can't, in-game, you can't kill this thing. Yeah, it's got base 30 speed, but you're already taking that first hit quite well. You then set up a Calm Mind, you could then probably set up a second Calm Mind, click Slack Off, and then just sweep entirety of teams with Surf and Psychic. There are not many things that are going to be able to take the combination Surf and Psychic other than like a Grass Dark type like Cacturn. But then, what's Cacturn really doing back if you're Calm Mind up? Like, if you're at +2, Cacturn's not really taking a Surf. Like, it's just not going to happen because it's a Cacturn. This thing just absolutely obliterates things in game. If you haven't used a Slowbro, you really should give this thing a go. People are off put a little bit because Slowpoke is dog shit, and I get it, it is, because it can't really do the same thing, and it evolves at level 37, which is quite late. But once you get this thing, and considering we're playing through Heart Gold and Soul Silver, which is 2 regions, like, you're going to have this thing for the majority of the game, because you get it at Slowpoke Whirl quite early on. It's just going to do absolutely wonders for you. It's fantastic. Please use Slowbro if you haven't already. It's our 4th team member, like I said, a million times. Fantastic. It's Slowbro. On to Pokemon number 5, you guys, and we have, in my opinion, one of the most underrated water types in the game, period. It's Tentacruel. This water poison type is your way of dealing with the grass types in the game. Sludge Bomb being super effective against grass, and obviously being Stab, is just going to put in absolute wonders for you. For this moveset, I've gone with Surf, Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain, and Toxic. So we've got Special Tentacruel, of course. Physical one is just, it's not as good in my opinion. Base 120 special defense as well. This thing is very specially bulky and surprisingly quick at base 100 speed. Toxic allows you to get a quick Toxic off as well in case something's just quite bulky. You might want to get the Toxics off and then get out of there, switch into something else. Of course, if you've got a physical grass type, then you might want to be using Gyarados to deal with it. But Giga Drain is able to recover HP, of course. Sludge Bomb and Surf are your nice stab moves. Tentacruel also evolving at level 30, so around the same time as you'll be getting a Feraligatr, you also get a Tentacruel. This thing is severely underlooked. In my opinion, it can be a little bit of a pain to train up. Tentacle isn't really that great until you get Bubble Beam at around level 22-ish. Don't quote me on that. My memory of Tentacruel is a little bit hazy. But in-game, this thing is severely underlooked, in my opinion. One of the most solid water types, especially special defensively. It might not hit as massively hard, but you get a modest natured one to boost up that special attacks around the base 90 and stuff. This thing can absolutely put in the work for you. So if you definitely haven't used one of these things already, I highly recommend you do so. One of the coolest designs in my opinion as well. I love jellyfish, they're really cool animals. And this thing always just looked really badass to me. So this is our 5th team member, it's awesome, please use one if you haven't already. It is Tentacruel. On to the last team member then, you guys, and I could not play through Generation 2 without using my favourite Pokemon out of Generation 2 that isn't Suicune. Suicune is my favourite. But I can't put Suicune in a mono water team because it's a legendary and I don't like to use them. But Lanturn, my 2nd favourite mon out of Generation 2 altogether. This thing's brilliant. I don't know what it is about this thing that makes me love it so much, I just do. I don't know if it's the typing of Water Electric that's just unique and awesome to me. Its design, it's a beautiful looking Pokemon. Its coverage that it gets, Surf, Thunderbolt, Signal Beam and Ice Beam with modest nature, just it goes in town. In-game, this thing is arguably very overlooked, because it does the absolute wonders. Only being it's weak to ground and grass, but ground types aren't a problem for your team. You have all water types. Grass is sort of a problem for your team, but you have a Gyarados and a Tentacruel ready to deal with them. Plus we have Ice Beam on this thing to be able to deal with them as well, and that base 125 HP means you can take a hit from pretty much anything and live it and being able to hit it back. Base 67 speed, it's in that speed where I didn't want to give this thing a timid nature to up that speed, because with that 76 base special attack we want as much special attack investment as possible, so I thought modest is definitely going to be better for this thing, because it doesn't really need the speed, because you can take a hit. If this thing wasn't able to take a hit as much, I'd probably invest more into speed, but it can take a hit very well. It just gets all around great coverage. Evolves at level 27 as well, which is a really round solid number. All these mons are around the same sort of area between 20 and 30, other than Slowbro, which is going to be like your last one that you'll get. But all of them are around the same area, which means you're going to have a really solid team around the same time, and it's really going to be, it builds together, and the synergy of the team for a mono water team is really nice in my opinion. It's absolutely fantastic. If you haven't used a Lanturn in-game already, I really highly recommend that you do so, because it is an absolutely fantastic Pokemon. It's our 6th team member, it is Lanturn. Okay then, you guys, so that's going to be it for today's Pokemon Team Builder around Mono Water, going through Generation 2/4 Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Let's run through that team one more time. We have our starter Feraligatr, we have the Water Ground type Quagsire, the monster that is Gyarados, the special beast that is Slowbro, the fast yet really underrated Tentacruel, and then the beautiful thing that is Lanturn. If you have enjoyed today's team builder, let me know in the comment section below, and make sure you smash the hell out of that like button for me, show support towards the channel and the series itself. If you want to see more of these team builders, also let me know what team builders you want to see in the comment section below. Next up, for the mono water types, of course, we have Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire and Emerald Generation 3, so expect that very soon, guys, since we're all in this quarantine sort of thing that we're doing at the moment. we're going to be working on these videos as much as humanly possible. But like I said, if you have enjoyed the video, make sure to smash the like button for us down below. It really helps me out and show support to our channel series. Spread it around social media. You can follow me on Twitter at Supercell93, my Instagram Supercell93. Also make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Pokemon team builders. But with that being said, you guys, I'm going to get out of here, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!